Hello, everybody. I know it's Jansen too. Welcome to You've Got a Thing, sponsored by the Milwaukee Theater Alliance. My name is Katie. I'm with Pink Umbrella Theater Company, and I'm excited to be here this morning with Peggy from Kids from Wisconsin. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Katie. Thank you so much for having us today.
Yeah, I cannot wait to dive in. And we were told backstage that we had like 20 minutes, so we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that 20 minutes and see what
I
we can do.
promise. I promise.
So Peggy, tell us a little bit about your role at Kids from Wisconsin first, and then your resume is extensive. So I'm gonna dive into that a little bit before we get into the work that Kids is doing. But tell us a little bit about your role and what you do there.
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to. So, well, first off, I was a kid from Wisconsin back in 1987. Okay. So just 1 year representing Manitowoc, and was primarily a singer dancer. And that really kickstarted my confidence into saying, yes, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And so from there, I went on to be a professional dancer for about 13 years. And then did some work in Chicago, got married, had children, moved back to Wisconsin, and thought, well, since I'm back, why don't I get back in touch with my roots and see what's going on at Kids from Wisconsin? So I was lucky enough to kind of come in at a time where it was a little bit of an interim, new executive director coming in, and I came in to volunteer into the office and kind of help her out. And then finally, we just kind of evolved into some employment, which was wonderful, to be able to come back to Kids from Wisconsin kind of full circle in my career. And also, too, started choreographing in the areas for a lot of the high schools and colleges and their musicals and master classes in the dance studios. And then from there, choreographer position opened up for kids, and I slipped right in there. So not just as the choreographer for the production shows, but also building the community enrichment programming with Kids from Wisconsin. So I've done that for about 7 years now.
That's exciting. And in your bio, like you've won some awards, some of the Jerry Awards and those kinds of things. I want to know from one musical theater kid to another, like what is your favorite musical? That's the first question. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot there. I think for choreography, any of those older musicals, and I hate to say older, they're just vintage, like Anything Goes, Guys and Dolls, Damn Yankees. Those are older musicals. I think just because I grew up watching them and they were so ingrained in my training coming up with Gene Wolfmeyer in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. We did a lot of those show numbers. So I think I have a heart for the older ones, to be honest. But I am excited too. I actually am starting to do a musical theater show at Kettle Moraine High School. We're doing Anastasia. So it's the first year that Anastasia is coming out for high schools. So I'm excited too to also dive into those new ones that are coming up. So yeah, but yeah, I would say West Side Story, Guys and Dolls, my favorites.
I know that new movie is coming out. Is it out yet already?
I think it came out yesterday, which I'm hearing. I'm curious to know you, Katie. What's your favorite musical theater show?
My favorite musical of all time is Little Shop of Horrors. Okay. I want to play every single role in that show. I played Audrey in college, and I stole the slippers. She wore these little muumuus, and I still have them. But I really want to be Seymour. I'm more of a tenor anyway, so I would love to be Seymour one day. Little Shop, hands down. But I will tell you that my heart broke when Sondheim passed away. Like, just as growing up in musical theater, I was like, no. My husband told me we were in the car. I was like, no, he can't die. He has to live.
Well, he will. And I mean, his involvement and everything. It's timeless. I mean, anything that he was involved in is timeless. So he will live on. His music will live on. His lyrics will live on, and we can at least fall back on that. But yes, it is heartbreaking. It is. I get it. But again, the musical theater scene in the state, as far as high school level, is unbelievable. Like that to me was the biggest shock to me, to come back into Wisconsin and start watching musicals and seeing it. The talent in the state is unbelievable, and the people and the adults that put their heart and soul into making these musical theater shows something super special for the high schoolers is just so commendable. And if you haven't seen a High School Musical theater show in a while, you've got to get yourself to there. To the audience members, because the talent in the state is amazing.
There is something special about High School Musicals that I think is undescribable. And I would assume too that a lot of the kids come from those programs that you're talking about across the state. So tell us a little bit. You have some auditions that are coming up, right?
Yes.
Every year we've got new auditions for kids from Wisconsin. So tell us a little bit about how all of that works and when your auditions are.
Well, this year is super exciting because last year we didn't really have, we did have auditions, but really a lot of our troupe came back from the following year due to COVID. So I feel like this is really special this year, our audition tour. And we're going on a very extensive tour. Our executive director, Michael Sander, and our producer, Taras Naherniak, they are setting up some amazing places that we're going, which that'll come out in the announcement that you'll have to look up. But we are going to Green Bay. We're going to Eau Claire. We're going to La Crosse, also Madison at the Overture Center. We're very excited about that. And then we'll have 2 dates actually in the Milwaukee area. So again, ages 15 to 20, you have to stay 20 throughout the whole summer. So that's one big rule as well. And we are looking for singer dancers in that age range, and also instrumentalists. We have 20 singer dancers that we need to get in our troupe, 22 actually, and then 14 is a 14-piece band, I believe so. Yep. And so and again, it's all a live production. We tour again all across the state. It's the cream of the crop, Katie. The talent that comes in these auditions too is mind-boggling, and it's very hard, very, very hard to choose a troupe.
So when you say, so you as the directors and choreographers are going all over the state for these auditions, and when does that start? When do you start traveling to find?
So we actually have a special date, January 7th, where we invite anyone who's in college, out of state or in state. We have a date in Muskego that we have for that, because we lose a lot of the college kids when they go back after holiday break. So we have a special date in Muskego, January 7th. And then we begin our audition tour on February 25th, which is a Friday. February 25th, we're in Green Bay. February 26th, Eau Claire. February 27th, Milwaukee. Then the following weekend, March 4th, we're in La Crosse. March 5th, we're in Madison. And March 6th, again, we're in Milwaukee. So we're really covering, all the bases there as far as youth being able to come and audition for us. So we encourage everyone to come. And if you come to the website, you'll be able to see where to sign up for that. You have to sign up prior. You must submit one letter of recommendation as well, along with your application. And at the auditions, you need to singer dancers. You'll be asked to sing a 32-bar song of your choosing. We may ask you to do some vocal ranges as well. And you'll also need to dance with me. And that is, we also give professional feedback when we do those auditions. So yes, it's we try to make it very professional and certainly have that atmosphere, but we're also happy to give some feedback as well to the auditioners. And then for band, of course, you'll need to come for an audition as well, bring in your instrument.
And so you're looking, you said 20 to 22 and 14. How many singer dancers and band members will you see, do you think, over the course of those few days?
Normally it goes about 200. That's been our usual comeback. Yeah, it's about 200 applicants. Mm-hmm. And some are returning from the year before. You always have to re-audition. We just because you're in the troupe one year doesn't automatically mean the next year. But so you have to re-audition. So we have people that we look at again. And we're looking at all different aspects. Every year we have a fresh new show. The producer and the artistic staff come together designing the show, and we are looking for certain things depending on how the show is designed. So, certainly I know we've had, some instances where we've had, okay, we know that we need some acrobatics in the show. So we want to make sure that we see someone that can tumble, different things like that. We had a Cirque du Soleil medley this past year, and we wanted to see if someone could juggle or do some certain tricks that you would maybe see on Cirque du Soleil. So there's certain things that we do look for when we're designing the show that we hope that an applicant will fit, but obviously they've got to come with incredible vocals. They got to be able to pick up a dance combination. But first and foremost, they've got to show us their performance and how they're going to perform on stage, because kids is known for its high energy, and it's known for its high caliber, performer. So we're definitely right at the auditions. We need to see that from the get-go.
Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, like, and you guys rehearse, it's a very short rehearsal period too, right?
It's about 2 weeks of camp. And we're rehearsing from 9 in the morning until 10 at night. Yep. It's very intensive.
And once that show starts, I saw the one last year, and I've been a fan of kids my whole life. I grew up in Kenosha, and I'm so happy that Michael and I went to high school together. I'm so happy that he's in charge. He's like the perfect person for that role. But yeah, I've been a fan of kids, but you're absolutely right. From the moment that first note is hit, we are off and running. And even as audience members, we are off and running right there with you, for that. It's like an hour long plus, right?
Two. It's that intermission.
An hour and an intermission. Yeah.
And for, 54 summers, it'll be 54 this coming summer. 54 summers, Kids from Wisconsin has been known for that. Been a staple at the Wisconsin State Fair as well. People come to State Fair and they expect to see the Kids from Wisconsin. That's part of their itinerary when they come. And of course, touring around the state, we go to a lot of venues that we've been to for 50 plus years, but we also try to hit some new places as well, so that people get to know us. And we're bringing theater into a lot of rural areas that don't get a 2-hour live performance in their towns. So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So that actually leads me into the next question. You guys are going into schools, right? How long has that been happening? And then tell us a little bit about what's coming up, and for working with schools here. Is it just here in Milwaukee? Is it everywhere in the state?
Right now, the greater Milwaukee area, yes. Okay. Yes. And that is our community enrichment program, which we started doing outreach workshops along with our shows, coming into communities. We did do a free workshop and invite the community youth to come in, and our troupe would mentor the participants and learn parts of the show and get, just talk all about performing arts. And we still do that, but we knew we needed to do more than that, something that was year round. And this was already started to be planning, even before COVID existed. So coming from a teaching artist background as well, I thought, this is a great opportunity for us to bring something like the workshops we're doing into the schools or centers or after school programs that really would love a performing arts residency or classes. So we started designing that, myself and some other kids alumni and some other aspects from the education area came in, and we designed a music program, two music programs. One is called Music and Me, and that's for ages 7 to 13. And we hit a lot of music curriculum aspects, music building, music composition, a lot of fun games. We also learn parts to a show that we're going to do at the end of the residency. So it's a lot of activities and games that revolve around music and performing arts. And we do that in that residency called Music and Me. And then there's also Music with My Friends, that's ages 13 to 17. And that is for the middle school, high school programs that want to have more performance-based classes. So we actually come in there. We also doing music curriculum as well, but it's more performance-based, where we're actually building a show in those 12 lesson residencies. And at the end, they have a show that's put on with music, choreography, vocals, the whole thing. So there's both incredible programs that fit really with any after-school center, any organization that's looking to add music into their curriculum, but they just want to get a taste of it in there, or a school that's struggling, sustaining a music program. So we're really kind of fitting into all those aspects right now, but we need the teaching artists. That's what we're really looking for. We got the awesome programs. We just really are in search of awesome teaching artists.
So people can contact you if they are currently in a school or an organization that holds after school programming, right? So they can contact you and or on the website to get that information on how to get Kids from Wisconsin into their schools.
That's true.
But then you also need teaching artists. So what type of people are you looking for to teach these residencies?
Oh, sure. Well, and we need them because we're getting calls of people want these programs in, and we just need to fill the vacancies. So in a residency, we have 2 teaching artists within the residency, and they tag team on each other to teach the lesson planning that we have prepared for them. So we are looking for any aspect of the performing arts, really. And that's something that is a whole new market that I didn't even know about in my career, that I could take all my discipline and all the experience that I've had and really bring it into a classroom, into a curriculum, already into a school, that your skills and your disciplines will help those students to actually learn and maybe spark an interest in something they want to do in the performing arts. So we are looking for, acting, vocals, instrumentalists, choreographers, dancers, any type of discipline you have. And if you've had some teaching experience already in your studio or private lessons or whatever, now you can come into our program. We'll kind of train you on how to incorporate your skill into what we have going on in our curriculum, and then be able to take that and go to centers and teach our programs. And it's a great part-time job because, again, our programs are 12 lessons. Sometimes they're 12 weeks, sometimes they're 6 weeks, depending on how the center wants to set up the classes. But really, it's a great part-time opportunity to be able to take some employment short term and be able to spread your love of performing arts with the youth.
Yeah. And it sounds to me too, like, because you have the curriculum created, if somebody is leaning in that direction at all of being a teacher, there's a safety net there, right? Like they don't
Yes.
necessarily have to create something from scratch. You've got, like you said, you've got training, you've got a curriculum, 54 years of experience, right?
Yes.
to support somebody maybe who is new at teaching and is like, yeah, I think I might want to do that. This just sounds like a really great opportunity for not only experienced and some of us veteran teachers, teaching artists, but somebody who might be new with an affinity for changing the lives, right, of young people and bringing something new to them, or maybe it's not new, but they're able to engage and enhance what they've already have learned in their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds great. So how do people apply for that? Because I know that we've got a lot of teachers right out there in the MTA land. So do they contact you directly through your website?
They can contact me directly, or they can go onto our website. It's Kids from Wisconsin/community. And there's actually an application right there where they can fill out some information for me, and it gets sent right to me. And then I contact them and set up an interview, and we kind of have a conversation about certainly if they're a veteran, how they can fit into our program, but also, I'm a choreographer in the area. I'm new to the area. I'm just coming out of college, and I need, some sort of networking to start happening. And it really is a great fit for any of those aspects. And we can start getting them trained on the programs, and then they're out and running, doing what they do best, is teaching and spreading their love of art.
Yeah. Awesome. If I weren't so busy, Peggy, I would.
That's what's great. That's what's great about the program. I mean, we've got, opportunities like if you only can give us one residency, great. Or if you want to try to do it, 6, 7, 8 times in the year, we'll set those up for you. We've got that much interest going on right now to have our programs come in, and it really isn't, and it's flexible. That's what's so great about it. Us as artists, we love that flexible work, because things are contracted, and I've got this space in here where I need to make some money. And this is great when you can be able to do that with our teaching artist program.
Right. Well, that's so cool. I just had like several thoughts like fly. Hold on a second. They're like my thoughts are racing, but I think probably bottom line, the thought that's sticking with me most is that we need art right now, and our young people need art, and they need a way to convene and to communicate, and maybe that comes in something that's new for them, but but yeah, art is definitely something we've talked about this a lot through this pandemic. It heals us in a way, you know, and so so kudos to kids for creating a program to go into those schools and work with young children and young people, to give them the opportunity to create and communicate and learn, and maybe step outside of their comfort zone a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, what you're doing is creating spaces for healing, and community, and that's awesome. So from one educator to another, like, that's
Oh,
so
great.
great. It's just so great to hear about these programs and know that there are a lot of us out there in the community working to heal and build and create, and build these artists up from a young age, you know.
Yeah, we need to let the the kids out there know that there are these avenues for them other than just always be on your curriculum. And of course, math, science, and all those things are very important, but they need to have those areas too where they go, oh my gosh, I really fit in here.
Yeah.
Or even if it's not, even if it doesn't spark you to become a vocalist or an instrumentalist or a dancer, you become an appreciator. So we're also, that's so much of what we put in the programs too, like appreciate what is brought in music. How often is music in your life in one day, and what does that do for you? And so if you're not going to go into that as a profession or an avenue, at least you could become an appreciator.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Okay, so we talked about the auditions for kids, which are coming up. We talked about your education program. Did we miss anything? Did I miss anything?
I mean, so soon our tour will be up on the calendar. So certainly, if you're wanting to catch a show this summer, which I hope everyone is, a lot of that tour, some aspects have already actually been up, I think, on our calendar. So you can start to plan in your summer where you can catch kids from Wisconsin. I mean, the tour bus goes everywhere, so you should be able to go there. And of course, it's a family show, which is another huge aspect. There's, where in the country can you go and see, a show like this, a high of caliber, and be able to bring the whole family and know that something in the show is going to be there for each family member. So we hope to see you at a show.
Awesome. And there was one more like secret special announcement, right? About what's happening in Milwaukee this summer.
Ooh, yes. Should we divulge? I think we should.
I mean, you got permission from the boss man, so
Yes. Okay. Is this
should.
July 30th thing?
Mhm.
Okay, it's more than a thing. Yes. Well, you're you can brag about it as well. So July 30th is our Milwaukee Community Spotlight, right? And Art Spotlight. And why don't you tell a little bit about it, and then I'll enhance it even more, because you've been part of it last year.
This will be year 2, right? It's back in Washington Park. So last year it was a full day event, and there were, I don't even know, it just felt like there were hundreds of theater artists running around, like doing shows and sharing their talents, what their company does. I know I saw 2 different shows that day. A whole bunch of youth companies came out and did performances that day. Pink Umbrella did a performance that day. And then, of course, it culminated in a full-blown, free for everybody, right, show of kids from Wisconsin. And that wasn't your last show of the year, but it was in July, right? So
yeah, it was right before we would go to the Wisconsin State Fair. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right. I knew there was something special about it. It was like your last, like, non-stationary show or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but anyway, but yeah, it was. But Washington Park is such an incredible venue and incredible neighborhood. The venue is historically just, I mean, the people that have performed on that stage, when you look at the history, it's mind-boggling. Aretha Franklin, and I mean, there's just a whole list of people that have performed there, and it's a shame that nobody knows really about this amazing bandshell right in the heart of the city. So it was that, to expose everyone to that venue, and also to expose everyone for a day of what Milwaukee has to offer as far as nonprofit organizations and the talent, and just to be able to sit there all day and see acting and performing and dancing and vocals, and just, it was an incredible day. And so we definitely want to be able to offer that again. And so certainly get on your calendar July 30th. And just block out the whole day, because it'll take the whole day to inhale all of the incredible things that are going to be offered.
Yeah. It really was kind of a great day. And it was really nice to see the community come together, support one another. There were food trucks and just laughter and merriment. And again, to go back to that healing aspect of it, and in a time we were just coming out of, people were just getting vaxxed and fully vaccinated, and we were able to give hugs and say hello and sing and dance together. So it was delightful. I'm so happy that Kids is hosting that again for our Milwaukee community. So everybody out there in MTA land, start prepping your work for July 30th. It's very exciting, very, very exciting. This has been, Peggy, we're going way over the 20 minutes. Like, I knew that this was gonna happen. Any parting words before we go, before I let you off the hook here?
We're excited to see ages 15 to 20 come out and audition, singer dancers, instrumentalists. Again, we are so excited to once again be holding auditions all across the state, and we can't wait to see everyone.
Yeah. So go to Kids from Wisconsin, go to their website, fill Peggy's inbox by the end of the day today with your applications for auditions, for getting Kids from Wisconsin into your schools. If you are a parent or a para or a teacher, contact them. Their programming has to be top notch. Peggy's in charge. Like, I know her. And then also work for her. She's pretty cool. So if you are looking for a gig, reach out and get that gig and hang out with Kids from Wisconsin and teach our youth. So Peggy, thank you so much. It's just been a pleasure to see you and hang out with you this morning.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.
You too. Hi.
That was a lot of stuff. They are on top of it over there. That's just amazing. But yeah, of course I'm most excited about the thing next summer. I mean, we were like, we have to do this next. We have to keep this going. It was so great, and just the amount of exposure that it gave to small theater organizations was frankly a godsend. We were just all sort of in this like semicircle type thing, and we all had our own tents, and people could just walk from one tent to another and find out about, oh, I've never heard of you, and then you just hand them a brochure, and I had people sign up to volunteer, and it was just a very cool, new, very exciting thing. So I'm very excited about that next summer. I just like Kids from Wisconsin, period. I had my mom was in Kids from Wisconsin. My aunt was in Kids from Wisconsin. So
they danced and sang and
did the whole thing. I had to look it up. My aunt was in it in 1983. And then my mom was a few years before that. The Kuchenbecker girls. Yes. Nice German name there. Anyway, yeah. So, but aside from Kids from Wisconsin, there's a ton of stuff that people are cramming in here at the end of the year. So I just want to share all of that with you as we like to do. Our guest from last week, when DeMonte Henning was here, Black Nativity. This is one weekend only. You have to get your butts in there. It is a wonderful Langston Hughes's retelling of the classic Nativity story with an entirely Black cast. Just amazing, different angle on this. And there's gospel songs, and this is their 7th year, and they basically do a new iteration every year. So you can go to the Black Arts MKE website for that. And for some reason, but just Google Black Arts MKE and it'll pop right up. That's all you need to do. Little Shop of Horrors, Katie's favorite musical of all time, is happening right now at Skylight Music Theatre. If you don't know this show, it's just an amazingly really dark comedy, but with awesome music, and it'll just live in your heart forever. I promise you. It's, it's quirky. It's just different. It's just a cool thing. Um, if you don't know, an alien crashes to the planet and chaos ensues, and Skylight has done a great job with making this cast about as diverse as humanly possible, and that's another bonus that you can look forward to. You can go to skylightmusictheatre.org for that.
Before you go on, yeah. Can I give Skylight a shout out too, because they have an ASL.
Yes.
They have an ASL performance, and then they also have on the 15th next week, they've got a sensory friendly performance for $20 a seat. So call them and get some tickets for that. It is important that we continue to make theater accessible, all theater accessible. So just a shout out, because that's obviously my passion, but a shout out to Skylight for making those 2 performances available to our community.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you're interested in that, you can also find that at our website. Toot sweet. Then we've got Bronzeville Arts Ensemble and a bunch of other. This is like Bronzeville First Stage, St. John's on the Lake, Black Arts MKE. It's like everybody under God is involved in this reading by one of most amazingly talented Milwaukee artists ever to walk the planet, Sherry Williams Pennell, who is just an amazing human being. And I'm not even sure she's a human being. She might be like an angel on earth type person. So she wrote a play, and it is called A Bronzeville Christmas Story. And if you're interested in new play readings, and you should be, it's very cool to just be in at the get-go of a process. And they're really great at original work and taking it and carrying it through to performance. So if you're interested in that, that is tomorrow only. It's at 2 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. at the Milwaukee Youth Arts Center, and you can just go to Eventbrite and put in Bronzeville Christmas, and it'll pop right up. I do think it's free. It's free, but I think they want you to register, and just to sort of get the idea of numbers. And I don't see anything about them limiting things, but COVID always makes things. You should always check before you go now. Last Chance for 53212 presents their dance film series at the Walker's Point Center for the Arts is also tomorrow. So you could, in theory, go and see the Bronzeville reading and then jump over to the WPCA at 4:30. So do the 2 p.m. reading, go at 4:30 event for 53212 presents. They were also on a few weeks back talking about this event, and it was Posey's residency, and they did a wonderful experimental film fringe thing that is wonderful to watch and see and be a part of. Also, you can be a part of is the Last Danceteria with Alan Russell of 2021 is this Sunday from 10:30 to 12 at the West River Collective. You can join in person or virtually. There's a suggested donation of $10, and you can go to 53212presents.org for that. We're getting real close to the end here of Milwaukee Opera Theater's awesome spoken word opera. It runs through the 31st. This is an online video thing that they did with Decameron Opera Coalition. Fringe opera. I've never seen spoken word opera before. Spoken word opera. Like, you should just do that, because why not? And so this was exploring what it means to operate a pay what you can restaurant in the center of a food desert, which is Trickle Bee Cafe. And it was really them just thanking them for being there. This was part of a Heroes project. And so you can go to MilwaukeeOperaTheatre.org for that. Very heart-filled event happening this Sunday. Man, I didn't write any of this down. Waukesha Civic Theater, they're having a benefit concert, which is the Sister Act cast performing, and they're collecting money for the victims of the Waukesha parade tragedy. Again, healing through art. That's what we do. When in doubt, MKE our heals, right? And hopefully a little bit of uplifting there at the same time, collecting money for a really important purpose. So you can go to waukeshacivictheatre.org for that. And as always, Imagine MK is working really hard to make more art happen all of the time, which means that we need more money. As we sit in 49th place of arts funding, makes it really hard on all of us to bring art to you. So we would love it if more people out there would advocate for the arts, and Imagine MKE makes it really easy for you to do that. So just go to imaginemke.org/act, and they will give you all the tools to write to your, copy and paste to your representatives. And the more people that talk about how important arts are in their lives, the louder we are, the better off we're all going to be. So look into that when you have spare time and headspace. And then just lastly, of course, if you are not vaccinated, please do that. Reconsider. Now that we're going back into winter again, and we still want to keep performing, and the best line of defense that we have right now is vaccination. That's what we got. So please do that if you can. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's all good stuff. Theater is happening, and we're still figuring out how to do it, and keeping the momentum moving forward, and yeah, stay safe and happy holidays, and go get your booster shot.
Go get your booster shot. I'm boosted.
And go see some theater. Go get boosted and go see some theater, right?
Check beforehand. I know that there are some people that didn't get into Wink because they didn't check beforehand, and you need to do the things. Just do the things, and you will see some awesome things. And you can find out about those things on You've Got a Thing. And you can do that again next week. I believe we're having Cooperative Performance on next week to talk about their upcoming programming after the New Year's. And because we are at that time of, sometimes I just look at the calendar and I go, longest, shortest 2 years of all time. But thank you for stepping in and hosting, Katie. I know that we are all doing the best we can out there to keep bringing this stuff to you, and it just makes it so much easier on me when I don't have to do all the duties. I will do it, but it makes it easier when I don't have to.
So I'm here for you.
I appreciate that. I truly thank you. So, again, thank you all out there for visiting with us. When you do, you can always watch these later. Watch them again and again, because maybe you just want to see Peggy talk about kids from Wisconsin over and over and over again. And you can, because in theory, these live on the internet forever. So we will slowly watch ourselves age.
Right. Well, that's something to look forward to. Thanks, Jamelyn.
I think my hair was dyed at the first one. Now I'm just like, I give up. Yeah. So we will see you next week. and be well out there, and happy holidays. Thank you so much for coming to You've Got a thing.